Today I am here to unbox almost all of Ohuhu's supplies. We're actually making this, thank you Moscow for the wonderful distraction, we're making this a two-part live stream because a lot of product is still on its way. So I've got a bit of a pile happening here and I'm going to try and keep track of it all, but there is more coming and I don't think we can possibly unbox everything in this video. So for context, I love Ohuhu. I've used their stuff for years. They have sent me some of the alcohol markers in the past. I've also bought some of them in the past and I've used them in a lot of my videos. And recently we tested the acrylic markers and found them to be wonderful as well. And so I reached out to them and said, hey, can I try the rest? So this is not a sponsored live stream, but they have sent me all of these things. Moscow's very excited. Is that the one you want to do first, Moscow? Are you going to help me unbox? That might be complicated, but we can try.
Moscow approves.
Moscow approves. So I want to jump right in. If you have any questions, I will try and keep track of that as well. I've got the comments here. Also, Shane is here from the Voice in the Distance. Well, not distance. You've got a microphone now. We need a Moscow microphone. He's got some purring going on.
Well, his purring is coming through your microphone. So.
Doing your job, hey?
Yeah.
So why don't we get started and have a look at what's here? So they gave me a list. Maybe I can wait through a list. I will probably hold off on the alcohol markers because not only have I used the alcohol markers a lot, but I believe a lot of those are still coming. And so I'd like to wait until they're all here to put them side by side and work out what's the difference between all the sets. So if I find any here, we'll open them, but we might not go too deep into like reviewing the alcohol markers at this point. So the other stuff that I've got here, we've got, I think 4 different types of acrylic markers. Let me have a look at my list here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 4 different types of acrylic markers. I feel like that's a really good place to start because I've just reviewed acrylic markers and I didn't know they had more and they did really well in our video. So I'm curious as to what the difference is with those other ones. So we have one set here. We're gonna get all these names right. Hanauma acrylic markers. I haven't seen these before. So we'll have a look at them. We have, what's this? That's some art markers. Kala. What's Kala? They are alcohol. So let's put them aside. Alcohol markers, not just alcohol. We have the Kalalau, which this is actually the set that I already had. There might be more coming. There might be another set coming. This is the one I used in the review video. So we've already tried them, but let's grab them out. What else have we got here? Maybe we should just start by unboxing everything and then, I don't know, it's a little bit mixed. We've got, okay, yeah, let me give you the rundown in general. We've got, I want to know what these are. Also, if you hear little feet or little noises other than Moscow, we also have our 6-year-old home. School holidays. All right, so these, what are they? These are a water-based ink. So, these don't have like a cool name on them. So I do want to know what they are, and then we'll probably swatch everything later. These, oh, okay, I think these are like water-based markers, I think. So that's cool. We'll come back to them. They don't have like a particular name attached. I'm not going to bother putting all these things back on. We'll figure that out later. That's a problem for later, Sarah. We have the Ohuhu Nahuku acrylic markers. So that's another set of acrylic markers. These did make it into my big review. And these were in the top 5 at least. I believe they might have even been in the top 3. So that's them. So that's the other acrylic markers. These ones will get open. Moscow, you here to help? How is your teeth? Can you do a little bit of a, yeah, that'll do. All right, thank you. Oh. All right, so we have the Hanauma acrylic markers. You like those ones, do you, Moscow? We've got glitter markers. We'll check out soon. We've got outline markers. We'll check them out soon as well. Oh, we've got some marker pad. That'll be good for us to try all this stuff on. I've got the oil-based pencils, which I have used before, but we can have another look at them as well. What else have we? Ooh, what's this? Oh, no, that's the one I already opened. We've got dual tip coloured fine liners. Didn't even know they made them. These are the Mayu series journal brush. Oh, I like these. I have some of these. Now I have a lot more of these because I believe this is the same thing again. Big set, so that's really cool. We'll have a look at them, like a water-based thing. And then we've got more art markers, so there'll be more alcohol markers, I believe. And then we have Waikiki acrylic markers. So there's now, I believe that's 4 acrylic markers now. And then we have the Ohuhu alcohol markers. So we'll come back to them. So I really want to explore the acrylic markers first. Bosco, could you at least sit down? He's just standing. Oh, he did. He's sitting. I mean, kind of in the way, but like, I guess you did sit and I told you to sit and that's good listening. I don't think Cat's ever listened, so that was kind of a really big coincidence, actually.
Nonetheless, I think he might need to go.
Might need to move? Go play with Holly. And go play with Holly?
Let's go. Hello, everyone. Bye, everyone.
The purring. All right. So, the comment I see from Caitlin, I love that your new desk is already broken in. Yeah, you know, I would say that, oh yeah, I was a bit not very careful for the paint and stuff. I actually like that it builds into the texture, but there's a giant like crayon swatch here. I have no reason as to why that's there. I don't know. But I do need to give it a good clean. But you know what? At least with the texture, it feels more, like you said, broken in rather than when it's white. I just like, it just looks like it was. Shane, how did you find a close-up like that so quickly of how bad it is? Yeah, I maybe did some painting on here and didn't put anything under it. It's sorry, Shane. Yeah.
I don't know how many desks we're going to eventually go through.
Can I just point out though, this is what, like year 5 of this YouTube channel, and this is only the second desk. The first desk lasted like 4 years. Until I melted hot glue onto it and thought that somehow that wouldn't absolutely destroy it. So, on that note, welcome to our membership, Shima. Yay! Welcome to joining us. And in silver, you'll get to join us in our Discord later. And after this stream, we do have a second members-only live stream that we like to do each week. Today, we're going to be doing something quite different in that. But let's get back to the markers. So, I need to open them. I've lost my little knife that I usually have. So we're just going to scissor it today. A lot of pressure to open things on a stream because it's suddenly you're very aware of how long it takes to break off the plastic. So we've got the Waikiki, the Kalalau, the Nahuku, and the Hanuama acrylic markers. That's what we've got. And we've got some marker pad to try them. I've also got some swatch decks to try them so we can sort of test the 2 different surfaces and see how we go. So it should be easier to break. I also realised I actually do have a bin here, but I can't see it. So by the end of this stream, there's going to be a lot of plastic in the back there. All right, so, oh, that's cute. A little micro perforated true size sheet. I don't know what. It's just a nice little fun thing. Oh, these are perforated. I see. Oh, that's cool. I like perforated. This paper does feel nice. I believe I did have an older Ohuhu notepad, and I don't know if it's the same paper or not.
They're not just perforated, they're micro-perforated.
Micro-perforated. I don't know what that means.
Yeah, I think it means like lots of smaller dots.
Yeah, okay.
So it's like a cleaner rip.
Nice. That's cool. No, I like that. So that's really, this feels like a good quality marker paper. Yeah, hard to know until you actually use alcohol markers on it. And we have another new member, Georgie Girl Colors. Welcome. Let's get into this. Welcome to the reality of my live streams being a mix of things. Okay.
Chaotic.
Now, to be clear, this is not a sponsored live stream, but Ohuhu did give me all this stuff. But I made it very clear to them, and you know me, I'll be giving my honest opinion on all of these. And I have to say, I've just opened the lid of this one, and my gut instinct is not good, and I'll explain why in a moment. But let me show you what I just saw when I opened this set of markers. this look like? What does this look like to you? Anyone? Maybe I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong. But the top of this, to me, looks exactly like, and not exactly like, scarily similar to the Artex Simp Tap markers that I came to dread in the last video that I did. So I hope Ohuhu is not saying they're copying, that's not right, but like, I hope this isn't their answer to that. I hope that it's just coincidence of the lid design. Should we find out? Nervous now. I don't want it to be like the Simp Tap. It is like a Simp Tap. We're not off to a good start, guys. Okay. Look. This is a first impression for a reason. We will give these a proper review. We will see if they have the flaws of the Simp Taps that I really hate, or whether maybe Ohuhu has got it right. We're going to find out. Not wonderful for them watching this, because I'm sure they're watching this, that this is the first one I opened. Because in the last video, I, 2 days ago, was actually trying to sort out all the markers again. And the end cap, these end caps feel stronger. So that's a good starting point. These little end caps on my Artex range, I didn't take a single one off. They all fell off on their own. And when I was sorting out all the markers, the bottom of the box was handfuls of these because they just fell off the whole time. This already is stronger. So that's a good point of difference of one of the biggest things that I hated about those markers.
This could turn around into a massive win.
This could turn around into a massive win. We're going to find out. So this is what the Acrylic markers are. We're going to have a look at that. I also want to look at how they're describing them because I think that's an important little feature as well. So let's pull a few of them out and we'll just put these aside. And then, not that color, that's not a pretty color. Let's go pretty colors. Prettier colors. Teal, gotta have a teal. So we're giving them the benefit of the doubt, but I am concerned. It's okay. All right, so this is the Waikiki markers. Then we have the Nahuku. I like these. These I really enjoyed, and in the last video, these are out of all the markers, I packed up a lot. These are one of the few that I intend on using myself. They are that wonderful direct ink marker that is very similar to, well, a lot of the brands are doing direct ink markers, but these were one of the best. They ended up in, I believe, my top 3, or at least the top 5 out of every acrylic marker that I tried. I wonder, Shane, can we pop a link to that acrylic marker comparison? It's actually the most recent video on my channel if you want to find it, if you haven't had a chance to see it yet, because we tested them in many, many ways. The same goes for the Kalalau markers. We tested them in a lot of these things as well. These have a cute little like tray you can pull out. So these are a cotton core marker, and they were quite good as well. They weren't quite as opaque as some of the other ones we tried, but they are really nice to use. I don't know if they have a bigger range because this isn't, they sent me these a while ago. I'm just gonna have a look at my little list here. They have 30 colors. So this is the full range of those. It would be cool to see some more colors, but we'll have a look. Shane's just popped that link in the chat if you're curious. So let's pull a few of these out as well, just to sort of give you that new experience of them. I should pull out some of these as well. And then we have these ones, and there's one more set, so I wonder what these are. The Hanauma acrylic markers. I can't believe I didn't know about these. I believe one of these had only come out while I was doing the last video. I don't know if it was these ones or these ones, but the other one I just didn't know existed. So I don't know if they're new or if I just didn't find them. My thing's a bit stuck. There we go. They sound fun. All right. Oh, these are totally different. Oh, I'm intrigued. Okay, we have replacement nibs, always good. I've never seen a marker that looks like this. This is interesting. They're like They're, what, a twisty? Shake then enjoy. Oh, the shake on them is... It's like a heavy... It's a heavy... I don't know how to describe... You can hear how heavy that is, right? It's like a big ball bearing in that. Or maybe it's not... I don't know. I kind of want to pull one apart. That feels like the entire chamber is shaking more than just a... Anyway, hopefully it's working to mix the paint well, whatever is going on in there. Oh, this is more like... Okay, hang on. Okay, we need to figure this... We're going to test this first. So, on the surface, this looks like a pump marker. Oh, it is a pump marker. But then what's the twisty thing for? I think I need to read the instructions. That's usually a good way to start, right? Which ones are the... I've now mixed up all the instructions. What's this one? Direct ink. That would be the Nahuku. Nope. I don't know. I mixed them all up. What's this little one in here? Let's have a look. Is this instructions? Aha. Step 1. Shake the pen. Yes. Press it down. Okay, so you press it down to activate. And then... I wonder what the twisty bit's for. Oh, it's refillable. Okay, so this end is actually so you can refill the marker. Ah, that's cool. Ah, it's a refillable paint marker. I'm trying to think if I know of other ones. There would be some in the sort of classic marker style, but that's cool. And it's like a completely different design to anything I've seen. So that's good. All right, so we're going to try them as well. And I really want to test, what I might do is find myself some black paper as well. Whoop, lid got caught. Find myself some black paper as well, and we can actually see how bright they are on the black and the white. And do a bit of an opacity test to see if, because I kind of got to test these a little bit in the last video, but not these other two sets that we've got. So I do want to see, if I grab the whites, how they go. Ooh, ooh. There we go. No, there's no... Yes, there is. Oh, honestly, these look so much like the Artex. It's like... I can't... It's slightly triggering. That's all I'll say. Okay. So, where do we want to start? Has anyone actually tried some of these? I'm curious if anyone has tried any of these. Now, let me show you the first why I love these ones. So we're going to give them a little bit of a shake. So if you haven't seen my other video on paint pens, I actually talked a lot about this whole direct ink system. What this means is that these don't need as much mixing as other paints, but they do still need a bit of a shake to get the best out of them. And so they should actually already be activated. Like you don't have to do like the pumping and that with like a paint pen. However, with a lot of these brands, you do need to sort of do a few runs before the paint sort of mixes itself. And I did find that when I tried them, that the Ohuhu ones did unmix a bit quicker than some of the other brands. Although so far these ones are actually pretty good. But yeah, you can see how they're just ready to go. Right, and those colors are like really bold colors. I'll do a bit more in a sec. I'm just kind of getting them all started. Pretty colors. So these are really nice. The brush pen, you can actually bend quite a bit, and so you can really like do really fine lines, really thick lines. You can taper them, all that kind of stuff. And the thing about these pens compared to a lot of like classic paint pens is you can actually kind of layer them a little bit without it sort of clogging the pen. And so what that means is that with a little bit of technique, you can actually blend some of the colors as well, which the other markers, the cotton core ones, do even better again. Now I will say, when you're blending markers, if you find like this, that you're like, oh, it doesn't feel like it's blending as well as it could, although this is actually doing pretty well, you can also just grab a dry brush, which I don't have handy. I need to resort my studio a bit. You can actually grab a dry like paintbrush and just go over that middle bit, and it'll kind of do a bit of the extra blending for you. But as you can see, they actually do mix colors pretty well, so that's cool. Maybe if we try two opposite colors, we'll see, because that's a bit more adventurous, a bit more of a challenge for the markers to do. that it's a little bit harder to sort of get them to blend, but they still do a pretty good job. But yeah, this is where if you're wanting to blend two crazy colors like this, you would actually be better off getting a brush to help you, because the thing about whenever you're painting with these is you are putting down more color with every stroke. Yeah, so that now it's sort of dried a bit, so it would be better to do a dry brush in the middle, but you can see there's a bit of a purple showing up from those colors mixing, so they're actually pretty good. And then what are these ones again? Kalalau markers. These are also very, very fun to draw with. These don't require any shaking because of the cotton core mechanism that they have. So again, that first bit you might just want to draw to make sure that any paint that's like unmixed on the tip, you kind of get rid of really quickly. But these are really nice for like big chunks of color, and they layer really easily. Like see, that's already like layering over a different color, doesn't seem to bother it at all. And then these should mix pretty well as well. So let's try if we mix to it. That one I think was a bit dirty from a previous thing. So yeah, these again blend quite well, but if you took a paint marker to blend with, they would do even better. The good thing about these ones is they're quite dry as well compared to the ones I just used. So for coloring books, these are probably less likely to warp your paper. So that's a bonus. So they're really cool. I am curious about these ones. So one of the things that really frustrated me about the Artex version of these is like you do need to shake them, but I found them really hard to pump nicely into the end, and they risked spilling a lot. So let's see how Ohuhu fares with their version and see what we think. And look, this might just be a personal thing, that I have a personal vendetta against this style of marker. Take it for what you will. But we'll see. Someone's asking if I'm drinking coffee, and I'm not sure if that's because I'm a little bit hyper or if I need coffee because I'm not focused enough. I'm not sure which version you're telling me.
Coffee is always good.
Coffee's always good. All right. So, okay. I'm a bit nervous about these ones. So the lid, that, I tell you what, that is not going to fall off. That is a much tighter lid than the others. So points there. But the way that these are activated is you actually, so they have the brush tip still, which is a nice feature. And the idea here is that you push this nib on the end, and that's how you get the ink into the bottom chamber. You can kind of see it happening down there where it goes into this section here. And once it goes into this section, then it will absorb to the tip. This hasn't pushed so one of the problems I had with the other version of this from the other brand is that it would push so much ink into here that it would start dripping from like the first pump. This hasn't. And so I actually feel like I could pump this safely a second time and it's still filling that up. Now, I'm not sure how many times that you're supposed to pump them. So I wonder if, let me have a look while that's just soaking in, if there is instructions in this one, or if I've accidentally lost them already. I really like that they do have these little swatch charts for a lot of their markers. That's handy. Where are, I don't know if I might have accidentally pulled out the instructions already. So we're just gonna vibe it and see. It does feel like it's loading a lot less paint in, which I think actually might be a good thing, because that was the biggest problem I had with these, with the other version of the similar sort of design, is that it was just so much paint that you lost control really quickly. And then all the paint would then dry here and you couldn't pump more through. And so they just stopped working. This, in the short time I've played with it, like that's not dripping. Even if I shake it while I'm pressing down.
I wonder if the other ones, they made it load quicker because then you can start using them quicker, but then that works out worse later. Like quicker for the initial loading what you're doing now, but then
yeah, it's
that's
like
actually
the
not a good thing in the long term.
Well, yeah, it's like the paint formulation wasn't designed properly, whereas this, I mean, I've only tested one. We'll test a few. But this is looking hopeful, actually. This is like the proper implementation of this technology that the others should have had. That still hasn't finished fully absorbing, but that's pretty good ink now. It's a little bit feathered just because the ink is still loading into that tip. Okay, well, I'm curiously optimistic. Is that the word? Curiously optimistic. Let's try. Oh, these lids. I am going to put these back on. I gave up with the other ones. I was just like, oh, those lids. Ah. All right, let's see if we have a repeat. All right, so we've got one pump in, starting to flow a bit. 2 pumps in. It's not overloading. So again, that feels good. You can see the paint from that second pump is traveling down. So 2 pumps and a bit of patience might actually be enough, but I also feel like I could do a 3rd or 4th pump without overloading it, and that's good too, right?
While that's loading, what kind of paper would you recommend for acrylic markers?
So because they're a paint, they're going to be, you probably want something that's a bit more absorbent. So actually the paper I'm using them on is probably the worst paper to use them on because it's more of an alcohol marker paper. It's working. They're working fine on it because these are not so watery that they're going to destroy the paper. So they're actually very forgiving and will work on most paper. If you're wanting to like build up a whole lot of layers with the paint, that's when you might want to specifically choose like a mixed media paper or something that can handle acrylic paint. But for the most part, actually, the markers are designed well enough that they work on pretty much anything. I've used these on the cheapest, thinnest printer paper, and they only buckle the paper a very slight amount. You use them on the Amazon printed quality coloring books, and they handle it. These, I am liking these, actually. For my initial hesitation. I mean, maybe. I'm curious to see how they go with, like, the opacity and how much they like cover lines compared to the others, but they're not messy. And that was the biggest frustration. If you watch my video, we pretty much had a sequence of all the times that the SimTap markers just made a mess or failed me. And these, I mean, we're up to what, the 3rd one? They're just, this is what they should work like, right? And if I had seen these in the shop, I would have avoided them because of my bad past experience. But actually, like, I'm not sure if I can overflood this. If I keep pushing it,
I'm sure you could if you really tried.
Okay, but like, let's try, like for real, because maybe I should try with a color that's less pretty. Let me do it. Let me find a color that we don't. What's this? I don't know what that is. Let's use that because I want to see what it takes to actually flood them, because that in itself, like, you got to push things to the limit to work out the actual capabilities. I put a lot into that purple one, and it's only just starting to look like the paint is over soaking there, and even then, it's not leaking, right? Would it be okay? Again, this isn't a sponsored video, but would it be a bit inappropriate for me to go and grab the other brand and like show you? Because that's what I want to do, right? There's no harm in that, right? I'm looking out for everyone in my team for permission. Yeah, go get me the sim tag. I think they're in my office, in the box there. I want to show you what I mean. I don't want this to just be like, yeah.
I mean, at least people know you're honest.
Well, that's my point. Like, and this is where we don't do really any sponsorships on our channel. I probably would like to do some sponsorships, but I'm so picky with the brands we work with because I don't want to promote a brand that I don't like their stuff. So I very much want to love the brand and then ask them to work with us. Okay, so we're going to try and overflood this one. Let me just first...
So need to get them on some black paper too.
Yes, let's make sure we do that, right? All right. Let's just, like, let me try and flood this marker. So this is not recommended behavior, but let me see at what point it starts to drip. I'm over pumping this. And the other difference here is that when I pump, it releases. I don't think that happened with the others. We have to go try them and figure it out. Okay, so that's now fully loaded. And I've pressed that a lot, and there's no oh, no, I actually touched the paper that time. That doesn't count. No leakage. There's a lot of ink on that now at the end. So like that's really moist. But even with all that moisture, that is not leaking. Let me try and overpump it further. What happens with the excess paint?
I wonder if instead of like when you're pressing that button, instead of it like forcing ink into another chamber, maybe it's just sort of like opening up to let it kind of like flow in if it needs to. Sort of.
Well, that's what it's supposed to do. It's not supposed to like push it out. It's supposed to kind of just open the barrel. So I've got a drip. It eventually loaded, but even then I can't now get it to drip again. So I pushed enough through that it really got the fluid to that tip. But yet, even though that was enough fluid that I was able to get a drip, it's still not leaking. So I'm actually stunned. I'm happy because
I was a little bit worried at the start.
I was a bit worried too.
You start this thing off and you open it and you're like, oh no.
First product I open, I hate. No, that's not a good, you know. But actually, I am stunned. I can hear poor Holly trying to find the Artex in the other room. I'm sorry. Oh, I'm excited. Okay, we have to try them on black. That's exciting. First though, let's have a look at these ones because these are something totally different again. The thing is, can I just say, the thing with this is like, Ohuhu brings out a lot of products, and there's always a part of me that's hesitant when a brand does that initially, of like they keep bringing out new products, of like, are they actually doing the research? Do they actually do the work to make sure these are good products, or are they just rushing stuff out to the market? So there's actually a big skeptical part of me with brands that release a lot, especially when you've got like the whole white label situation where there are hundreds of brands right now releasing markers so quickly that you're like, there's no way they've even tested those, right? So it's actually a really big relief. And this is why I reached out to Ohuhu, because I have been watching them for a few years, and I have over time slowly been trying to work out where they fit in this scheme of things. And I do feel like they put the work in to actually research their markers. You know where else it might be? There. Right there. Right next to your desk, there's a box of the ones that my intention was to give away or donate or whatever. And the sim tap made it into that pile. Shh, don't tell Artex. All right. Let me show you. First question is, now you can see already from the top why I panicked, right? Can you see that? The reason why I panicked straight off the bat. Bit of like trigger here from this. But I wonder why they have P on them. They all say P. Is that because it's a pump? I don't know. Anyway, so these, the lids
Paint?
are missing. Maybe. I don't know. Questions. I don't know where these lids all are because I remember I think they're all loose in that box that Holly's just been hunting through because I was like, I'm not going to go put them back on all of them. Because I want to be giving these away. We're going to donate them somewhere. And I wanted to first make sure I put them back in their sets because I don't think I'm ever going to use them again. Personally, I don't want them to go to waste. We might even actually, I think we're due to send our Teal members every now and then I send them some like mixed supplies. And I think we might be due soon to send them a box of samples. So maybe for the Teal members, we can even split some of these up. So you can try the sim taps after I've just talked about how horrible they are. Okay, but let me show you.
Teal members might be lucky. Some will get the sim tap, some will get the sim tap lids.
This is not the lid that comes off. This is the interior that's not supposed to come off, and that's just fallen in my hands as well. That's not a good sign.
They're not the Ohuhu ones.
This is not Ohuhu. This is what set me up for disappointment and panic, because like these. Let's see. Now, I've already pre-activated probably this whole set for my other... Oh, no, we have one that hasn't. Okay, so let me give you the true first experience, because it wouldn't be fair to take a preloaded one and compare it to another one. So let's do... The lid's missing. I don't think there's a single lid left in this box, even for the ones that I haven't used. Just saying. Okay, so let's do what I just did and show you. We might need a top camera close-up for this. How close is our top camera so I can show you? Oh, that'll work, actually. Let's do that. Okay, so... Or maybe that's too close. No, let's go top camera. Just see how it is. Top camera. Shane's trying to get here and make sure we can. No, that's fine. Okay, so let me show you first one press what we get. So what we get with one press is this gets stuck. So now it feels like I can't press it again. It's sort of like, can I press it? Can I not? This has actually gone through a lot, but it is flooding this area a bit more, but it's not ready yet. So like with the Ohuhu, I'm like, okay, well, I need another press, right? So I might try and activate it again. And then it's like, okay, but is it loading? It's loading very unevenly. Some of them flood straight away. Some of them it's like this where I'm like, okay, do I need to push it again? I don't know. And it's so if we try a few more times to get it to the point, and look, let's wait it out because that was what I did with the Ohuhu. But already there's like a drip starting. I don't know if you can see that. There's like a drip starting to form because it's collecting unevenly already. So let's give it a minute. It's also depending on the different ones because some of them are going to work better than others. Oh, that's the Ohuhu one. Don't pull that out. There's another one. So this is one that was preloaded. So let's get that out again. So, I mean, to be fair, I also am trying the Ohuhu now. Let's pull them out again in 2 weeks. Remind me, and we'll see how they work reactivating them after they've already had paint in them. Because that's also a thing that I found to be really frustrating with the SimTap is they worked really well the first time, but then the next time you go to use them, like this, it's all unmixed in the tip. So but that's a normal thing. So that's not too bad, right? But let's try and get a bit more paint into that. And oh, look, one thing already. We've got a big splat. Like it took no effort at all to get that to start dripping. Right? From just a slight extra. This one still hasn't fully... Oh no, we've got a bit of a load there. They're not, like it's not that different, but they're just so easy to make a mess, you know? And I had so many issues with the mess. And again, very tiny experience that we've had with the Ohuhu so far. But there's that one's dripping now and it hasn't even fully loaded and it's already dripping, right? The Ohuhu, I wasn't able to get it to do that. So that's a really good sign. I think I need to actually like do a project with them properly to really sort of assess them. And I would like to, at our next live stream in 2 weeks, come back and actually see the ones that I've loaded, how are they performing later? And how hard is it to get them to make that mess, you know? Because I think that's a really important thing to actually look at, like that mess factor. But okay, I want to work out, we said black paper, brightness, but actually what is a better test for the opacity is actually to do them on white paper with black lines. Because the thing with black paper is you've still got no sort of clear point of reference on if it's covering up or if it's just bright on the black paper. Whereas if you do it on something with lines underneath, like a coloring page, you will see whether it covers the lines or whether you can still see the lines through. Now, in my experience, there were only 1 or 2 brands that actually completely covered lines in this kind of test. Most of them will cover the lines with a 2nd or 3rd layer, and that's pretty much the standard. But for the sake of the test, I might just grab a coloring book and we'll see how much it covers the lines straight off the bat. Oh, I've got some here. Okay, so this is just, what is this? This is a Cocoa Wire Bold and Easy pattern book. So like it doesn't really matter what page we do, but let's just do this nice simple one that we can scribble on without feeling too bad about it. So first of all, let's grab the Nahuku, which is the ones I like, and I'll show you what I mean. Like I usually just do a 1 swatch test to see how much the black comes back through. This will be different on different paper. It's a completely variable test, but it is just a good reference point in general of like how much the paint is likely to soak through versus sitting on top. So in this case, that's 1 row of the blue, and you might come across with a 2nd layer, although if you let it dry, you'd get a better result. Some colors are always going to be better at covering than other colors. I did find across the brands I tested, the purples actually generally did better than stuff like the yellows and the reds and the blues. So that's a really interesting thing. This is a pretty standard result for this. Again, I tested the Nahuku and the these names, and the Kalalau I tested in my other video against a whole bunch of different markers, and the Kalalau weren't quite as good. I mean, you can see already there, and it's also important to try a few different colors. but the Nahuku was sort of one of the better ones. So these are the Kalalau. But again, if these allow you to layer, that's not a bad result because then a second layer of them, it will cover it. Where it probably becomes a little bit more disappointing or whatever is with the whites. I found that most of the brands that I found did the best in the whites didn't necessarily do the best in all the other colors. So whites are a unique thing where I would love if brands like spent more time just focusing on developing their white, because I would love it if that white would cover that black line straight away. I don't want to have to do, because there's a lot of projects where you want to cover the black lines and I don't want to have to do 10 layers to cover the black lines. So that's the first two already. They're actually pretty similar. When I tested more different colors, I did find the Kalalau was slightly less opaque than the Nahuku, but they both performed above average compared to a lot of the other brands I tried. Let's try these new ones now. Did I shake these? I didn't. Probably did. I'm going to take all their lids off. Whoop, that's not the lid. Because I actually have to take them off because they don't fall off. I don't know if you need to leave these on. Like, is it just so that you don't accidentally press it, or is there actually like a seal to it? I don't know. All right, so let's just get these loaded. Give them a minute to catch up. I feel less worried about overloading them because they seem to have handled that pretty well. Is that the one we already loaded up? No. Okay. And yeah, that comes back really easily, so you can press it again. In fact, you can actually, if you look really closely, see the mechanism that it's moving inside that's letting the paint out. I wonder if it's that the paint's thicker and that's why it's just slower to absorb. Oh, that's a brighter pink than I was expecting. A lot of the paint markers are really muted colours, so that's actually quite bright. I probably should have let that load a bit more, sorry. Let's give it a bit more time to soak in. Get the white one ready. The purple one's a bit of a slow activator. I don't know if that's because it's thicker paint or what. Okay, that opacity is pretty good on the pink. That's better than that because I've let it mix a bit more. That's something to think about too. If your thing's not working, it might just need to be better mixed. Give it a bit more of a shake. Okay, that yellow is pretty good too. Kind of wish these were in my big test because I've been pleasantly surprised so far. All right. White versus purple. Actually, it's a bit hard to tell if the white's... Oh, it is. All right, let's see how the white goes. That's better than the other Ohuhu ones. Look at that. That's a good white. Oh, I kind of want to test that against my other brands now. I think I might have to take these markers through some of the different tests that we do. The purple's taken a long time to load. That's a little bit of a downside. But hopefully that means it'll never leak. I'm not sure if I'm patient enough to wait for that. Let's just get a different one. What other colour? Blue? We've done a blue with these other... Oh, where's that purple I tried before? Not loaded. That one's loaded. This one's letting me down a little bit. Alright. Oh, that's upside down. I forgot to put the lid back on one of them already. Mel says all Till members should experience the joy of Simp Tap. Alright. That is really opaque. Wow. The potential of this is exciting me. Can you tell? Just getting one more loaded. Let's just try one more and see. And then we need to try. I haven't even tried these other new refillable ones yet at all.
How many more products do you have to go through in this live?
Oh, shush. I already said this was one of part 2. Might need to be one of part 3. if everyone's enjoying, like, it's the difficulty of, like, an unboxing you don't often get time to, like, really review, and I'm trying to do a little bit of both, and so that's always going to be a challenge. Okay, I like these. I like them. That opacity's great. Yep, it's good. I will get out some black paper soon. Maybe we can also test the other markers, like the gel pens and whatever, on the black paper at the same time.
Holly, put all of the other paint markers in the bin.
All I can say is, for me that opened this going, oh no, did they copy that? They're the worst markers. These are, like, actually some of the best markers I've tried. So very, very good. Very impressed, Ohuhu. Well done. You've pleasantly surprised. I would not have bought them if I had not been given them, because I would have assumed the worst. So, redeemed. Okay, this one, pumping to activate. I might not have activated them enough, but that's activated really quickly. And the thing, like, I am not a big fan of these types of markers in general, because I find that I just love the brush tips, right? But if you want something that is more of the bullet tip, then that's where you might look at this kind of marker. That opacity is great. That is one thing I will say about pump action markers, is they tend to be able to handle a bit of a thicker paint. That is pretty good. Whoop! I don't think that was supposed to happen. So that needs to live in there. These are also really easy to clean, because you can just pull out this bit and, like, dump it in some water and clean it out and replace the nib. I don't like this particular type of material, whatever this is. And it's with a lot of the other brands as well. I find it to be a bit scratchy. Like, I wish they had a bullet option. I wonder too if you could actually buy, oh no, I've spilled paint over here from something. Is that from me? Is it me now with this? Am I spilling paint with this? Is this leaking paint? I've got blue here, I've got blue here, and I've got blue on my desk over here.
Is that when the nib was out?
Oh, maybe. Yeah, okay. Maybe I've just... So be careful if you...
Keep the nib in.
Keep the nib in. No, I actually think it might be leaking from the other end. That's not good. Yeah, because that's all spilled around the edge there. Oh dear. Oh, I think it... because they're brand new and they're really full, I think it's overflowed. And so maybe when you get these, make sure the ends are tight, because I actually think that's what's happened here. In fact, Shane, can you pass me some paper towel? Because I do need to clean my desk. Lucky I didn't hit my laptop. There's some just here in the box. Yeah, this one, it's messy. It shouldn't be that messy. They weren't messy with their brush. Oh, yeah, that's not really helped. All right, we'll figure that out soon. Yeah, these ones, this particular one is messy so far, but the opacity is amazing. Look at that. That black line is gone. I'm a bit worried about that level of mess. I don't know if it's just that lid was undone, so maybe that's just some... Oh, see, they all have a bit more room to give. Okay. So if you buy these, first thing you should do, tighten all the ends, because that's, I think, what's happened. And they all were just very slightly loose. That's something to be aware of, because that, like, I didn't even notice that was making a mess. Did anyone else notice? Probably watch it on the replay, right? So that one, yeah, it's these, what are these? The Hanauma. These are the refillable ones. I want to try the white though, because stuff like mess and all that, if you know what you're getting into, it is really hard to find a good white acrylic paint pen that is opaque. That is something that I found really hard. I do like how quick these activate actually, because that's flooding after only one pump. Most of these you need like 10 pumps to...
So I guess, is that end where you refill it? The end that was loose?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I think because they were so full, and you don't know how much pressure's changing that in transport and all this kind of stuff, like on airplanes and all that. And so when you first get them, if you just tighten them, you'd probably be fine.
Because I guess if they did them like super tight and then you get them and it's like you can't open them.
Yeah. Yeah, I
So-
mean, it's good feedback for them but that's also something just to keep in mind when you get them. They're refillable to make sure you tighten the caps before you try and start using them. Because I do believe that's what's happened there. All right, this white is impressive. I think that's our most opaque one yet. I don't love the scratchy. It gets less scratchy when it's got more paint in it because it's still not, like, you can still see the yellow on my thing, so it's not fully soaked. But it's one thing I didn't like about some of the other brands that have this style is I don't like the ones that have this yellow. It's like a firmer sort of plasticky tip. I don't even know what it's made out of. It's scratchy though, and I don't like. See, if I press hard, you can hear that. You don't need to press that hard, obviously, but yeah. But look at how good that coverage is. It is, although it is soaking in a little bit more. So actually, once you sort of let it dry, it is probably a bit closer to the other ones that we've just tried. When you look at the sort of, hard because I haven't done them next to each other, but I'm less a fan of these. I think these work for a specific audience and these might be something you like. I really like the brush tips, so I'd be less inclined to go to these. However, from the different brands I've tried just from this quick thing, if I was wanting a bullet tip, I'd potentially pick these up as opposed to going back to some of the other brands I have. I do really love my Posca. That would probably be my first go-to for this style marker. The Posca don't have a good brush tip like some of the brush tips here. So I think that's the acrylic markers. I know we want to check them on black paper, but while I'm doing the black paper test, let's have a look at some of the other supplies we've got so that you can actually see them as well. Look at my beautiful colouring page. Let's grab some black paper. Shane, you want to catch me up on the comments while I'm doing that?
All right, let's have a look. Do you have any inkling that acrylic markers are going to transition to the direct flow system?
Direct flow system. I'm a bit confused by your question, Terry. Maybe explain it again. Like, a lot of acrylic markers are moving to direct flow, but then you mentioned Olo, and Olo don't have a direct flow acrylic marker. So I'm a little bit, I don't even know if Olo have an acrylic marker. So maybe re-clarify, but I do think that directing flow acrylic markers is the new thing that a lot of brands are going to keep doing. It's technology that seems to be working really well. It solves a lot of the problems of the classic markers, and it's been a pretty good system, and even some of the cheapest brands have been really nice to use. Let me just quickly do some swatches on the black here for you. We've got our, well, that was the one that I was trying to blend with. That tends to wreck the nibs a bit, so you kind of got to do a bit of a scribble afterwards to get them working again. So my bad on that one. But this is the Kalalau. These ones, from memory, weren't quite as good on the black paper. Try and be quick so that we can move on to some of the other supplies as well. All right, and then we've got the Nahuku. I'm just using the colors that I've already primed, so I'm not actually re-priming, which they might work slightly better if I re-primed them, but going for speed as well here.
Looks like we have a super thanks, Sarah.
Oh, we don't get super thanks very often. Thank you. Thank you to B Mauser 100. I really appreciate that. Thank you. All right, here's the Nahuku. You can already see the difference in the white, although give them a second to settle because often the initial paint, because there's a bit of moisture in it, they do soak in and change a little bit. So let's just give them a second to settle and see if that color stays. We'll do our new bullet tip ones.
What's a good fine tip white pen to use over Prismas?
So I actually have a whole video of white tips and white markers in general. And it's probably due for a redo at some point because there are always new brands coming out. Personally, and in that video, I really like the Arteza and Artistro white markers, white acrylic markers. What I will say is I don't like the rest of their colors at all. So buy a set of the whites, don't bother with the rest. There might, like, this white here actually might compete with them a bit. Also, the Copic white fine liner, I think potentially could be the best, but I don't actually have it to try, but I've tried it once or twice. And we have another member, Lisa and a quintillion. Is that right? Lisa, welcome. Welcome to our membership. It's great to have you. Anyone who's joining the membership, please, after this, go have a look at the posts. You might have to scroll a little bit and you'll find access to our members Discord where you can come and hang out and share your work as well, and we chat a bit, and I'm usually in there like every second day. So it'd be really cool to get to know you in there as well. Which ones was I doing? I was doing these ones. That white is impressive. So even though we had this sort of leak trouble with these, they might... no, I felt it. It leaked again. That one's tight. No. Oh no. It was the shaking. Look, it's everywhere. Oh no.
Are you supposed to shake them? Or
Yes.
supposed to got a ball thing in it?
When I shook it this way, it's splattered. Can you see? It's everywhere. Uh-oh. Ohuhu, that's not good. Oh dear. I'm going to need some paper towel. Where do I put that piece? So, I mean, this is where you know that, like, I'm going to be honest with you, this is not good. That's a pretty big problem. All right, so new recommendation. If you're deciding you want these anyway, you need to, it's coming out the top, out of those little holes. If you want these, you have to cover them. And this is getting to be a lot of layers, right? Can I just point out?
The top has holes in it.
The top has holes in it.
So are you doing something wrong?
No, it says on the side, shake, then enjoy. But the top, that is the refill, has actual holes in it. But then it has a screw thing in. I wonder if the pressure of these being transported, like by air, has... I wonder, you know what I think? I actually... Okay, this is just pure assumption here at this point. The chemist in me that is not... I'm not a chemist. These are very full. I think what's happened is instead of filling them to like here, they've overfilled them. And then the pressure of the plane has pushed it, and it's pushed it into a part of this because they were loose, that it shouldn't be in. And so then even after tightening it, that paint is already in that cap. And so now when I shake it, it's just spraying out those holes. Shane's convinced that I'm the error here. He's literally gone to find the instructions. He doesn't believe me. That's not great. Because everyone that I've opened, they have been really full at the top. So much so that I don't think they're supposed to. Look at that. See? Look at that, Shane. How could that not leak? Look at that. Can you get a close-up of that on a side camera? There's literally a bubble in the giant bit here, which is there's like an air pocket bubble that has been created. That's the area that has access to the outside world. And this other area is overflowing. I think it's because they've filled them too full. I think that's why they're leaking. So this is a big message to Ohuhu. You need to fix the leaking problem, because that is bad. Look at that. There you go. Oh, it just popped the bubble. But see in this how there's like an inner section and then the outer section. I believe the inner section would be sealed when this is properly closed. But even after I pop that, look how high that is. So this inner section is going in and sealing that, but there's no way that that fits in that tiny little gap, and it would be pushing the extra out, which means there's paint. You can see the paint already here around the outside. That paint around the outside is now in this cap, and this cap has holes in it. So I don't know if it's a design flaw or just they're overfilled. But that, go back to the top camera. That is a fully closed marker.
It does have in the FAQs, the marker leaks ink when I just get the product, and it says, please contact us for a return or replacement right away. So,
okay, so
that set may be just...
All right, I'm going to ask... Okay, so guys, let's hold judgment. Let's see if this is a bad batch, because they have sent these to me and we're doing another live stream in 2 weeks, I'm going to reach out to them and say, send me another set of these in 2 weeks and we'll see if it repeats. And we'll see if this happens again, or if maybe, because even I can get unlucky and get a bad batch sometimes, if that's, and maybe it is an issue like I was saying that pressure in the travel has created this issue because they're filled so high. But I would hate to like give this a terrible review for something that they're aware of and they're trying to solve. So let's just put a hold on thoughts on that one, and we'll come back and we'll do a second review of these in 2 weeks and see if the new set they send does the same thing. So stay tuned for that one. And if you're not subscribed, this would be the moment to press the subscribe button so that you get the notification about our next live stream. Yeah, wow, that was unexpected. Okay, what haven't we done yet? Have we done these ones on here? Oh, that one's not ready to go. Just on our black, because then I want to move on to some other supplies. I'm just trying to find some colours that I've already primed to try and save us some time. These ones again, they're coming out pretty good. I don't know if I have a white of that though. Do I? I thought I did. Maybe I do. Oh, I did. We primed it. Where'd the white go? Where did the white go? Caitlin's mentioning that as someone who lives over a mile high, shipping things even by ground can be an issue. It's something I never considered until recently, and I read someone say about that. Yeah, for people that live at higher altitudes, actually things like this happen a lot because we don't think about the pressure change in the air. And so I've heard, yeah, other products that get kind of stuck and stuff as well or have issues like that. All right. So these are our acrylic marker ranges. Now, I'd love to stop and put these all away, but that would be very out of character for me. Let's just keep going. Let's have a look at what we've got next, right? Okay, so we have, I'll come back to the colored markers soon. I'm very aware of like just the paint that's a mess now. The blue one even got on my chair. I'm gonna have to give this chair a good clean. Okay. Coloured fine liner dual tips. Now this, my gut says these won't work on black paper, but who knows? Since I got the black paper here, let's just give them a try, but then we'll give them a proper try on something else because it would be weird. No, that's a water-based ink. I do want to see if any of these work on black paper while we've got it out. We've got outline markers here. I put the white one in the box. Where? Oh, well, no, that looks like, oh no, that is white. Ha, thank you. All right, let's just, yeah, see, look at that white. That's a good white. Give it a second to settle. See how it compares. This white, this is the one, the exploding ones. Their white is good. So there is hope. There's pros and cons. That's, again, every brand, and like, there's no like perfect marker. They all have like really good in these 10 areas and then really bad in one area. Now do these, oh, these shake. Okay. Now, outline markers. My only experience with outline markers was the Crayola outline markers that were an utter disappointment. So, all right, let's see what these do. Okay, so we need to activate them. So they're still a paint marker. I'm curious because I haven't come across an outline marker that I've liked yet, but I like the idea of the outline markers. It's just, I'm a bit impatient. Let's activate a few at once. And I just put back in the box without the cap again. What? What did I do? You're right. I'm sorry. I'm terrible. Maybe this is why I can't be trusted with this kind of marker. I mean, I don't think it's a good idea to store your markers upright anyway. You probably need to get something more like this that you can store them flat, and that would probably help with some of those things. Okay, here we go. One of them's ready to go. Woohoo! Okay, so this kind of changes color as it goes. I don't know if I'd call that an outline though. It's kind of just a silvery blue. It's possible that these are quite different on white versus black, but yeah, I don't really see an outline on them. see how the other colours go. Oh, there we go. They're pretty. The thing I found with other outline markers that I tried is that the silver in them all kind of looks the same. It's whether the colour shows up. In this case, the silver's showing up heaps, but I'm not seeing any colour. Let's have completely different colours. We try. Now we've hit an hour, but I'm going to just extend this live stream a little bit because there's still a little bit more I want to explore. So we'll just hang in there. All right, they're a bit slow to activate, but I'm not so worried about the first activation being slow. That's not necessarily like a good or bad thing. It just means it requires a bit more patience. All right, so the pink. So again, like you see the pink and then the pink absorbs and then you just see the silver. So on black, they all just look silver, which unfortunately is not what the packaging suggests. The packaging suggests that they all have the wonderful like outline on them. And so far on this paper, at least, I'm not seeing any outline. I'm just seeing a lot of silver. So that's a little bit disappointing. Let's try them on. You know what? Let's not just use their paper because if you use a brand's own paper, sometimes you get like weighted results because their paper is like perfectly designed for their own thing. So let's grab a swatch decks and have a play. See if we get the double lines on here. Okay. You can at least see the color this time, right? Outline markers are something that I've always sort of, I don't know, I've not really seen anyone do it really well. They're always oversold as being this amazing thing and then they're sort of just not really. But they're already, so they're doing better on the white. Can I just bring this back for comparison? So here, there's no color at all. Here, you've got all the different colors and you can see. So I think what's happening like from a scientific perspective is basically the silver is a paint pen and I believe the color is actually like a water-based thing. And so when you put it on the black, unfortunately the water base is just disappearing. But then on here, you're seeing it and the water base is actually bleeding, whereas the paint pen's kind of pulling itself in. And so you do end up with this very fine outline that's like a little bit of pink with silver looking like it's through the middle. So it kind of creates a bit of this two pen kind of thing going on. So I think, and you'd actually find this will work on some black paper, or potentially if you put down like a layer of gesso or something like that first, you may get the double line effect. Unfortunately on my paper, it has just soaked in, so it hasn't worked. So this is one of those things that you want to try on different papers for sure. And I will say these work a lot better than the Crayola ones that I tried. Outline markers is always going to be hard to win me over. So I'd be curious if anyone else who's tried this, like, how do you find they compare against other outline brands? Do you have the same experience with every other brand of outline marker? Maybe I just need to test more. Maybe I just need to test these and more things. They look really good on the swatch decks here. They're actually quite pretty. And let me give you a bit of an angle so we can see how they glitter. I don't know how well you can see that. Oh, here we go. Look at that. There you go. So there you can really see. There is quite a shine on those. And you see the colour. So that, look, they're not bad. I think they would be fun as like detail pens on colouring books. My kids would probably adore them, but we're not doing a channel for kids, we're doing a channel for adults. So I tend to be a little bit more critical of adult products because I want them to be high quality, because we deserve high quality. Not that the kids don't, but the kids will be happier with something like this. So let's move on to the glitter markers though. Because
while you're getting that ready, did we want to do a quick update on the color companion?
Yeah, let me swatch these out. And do you want to tell sorry, I just put you on the spot there. You put me on the spot first.
So at the moment, we've for all the people who have ordered the companion lifetime membership, we've sent out all of the onboarding emails for you because that's a little bit more straightforward, because there's there's no subscription element ever involved in that because it's lifetime membership. For everyone else who's ordered the digital color cubes, we know that not everybody's going to subscribe because you don't actually need a subscription. But what the system does is it gives you a trial when you sign up. But what we found is it wasn't giving people the trial. It was just putting them on the essentials plan straight away. And we didn't want people to miss out on that. So we're just fixing that last bug before we sort of continue with everyone else. We're not sort of pressuring people to subscribe or trying to like take payment details because you don't have to do that. But we do want to at least give you a trial because that's something we offer for free. So we're just fixing that last bug and then we're continuing with the onboarding for everyone. And at the same time, we're just fixing all the other bugs we find along the way. So that's the current update. Sarah did do a Ask Me Anything in our Facebook group, if you remember in that, where she's answered a lot of individual questions on there.
I am going to do a video in there as well, trying to sort of, because some of the questions were pretty complicated and I want to make sure that I know a lot of people have the same questions, so try and answer them for everyone. So yeah, add your questions in there if you're wanting to.
Yes, and so I can see a comment of why is everything a subscription these days? That is not what we're trying to do with the Color Companion. As I said, like
we wanted to offer a really big free version for one, and we also have a lifetime option so that if you do want all the pro stuff, you can just buy it once off and not have to subscribe because we hate subscriptions too.
and for people who have bought the digital color cubes, like we make it very clear in the sign up process that you don't need a subscription for that.
Yeah.
There is a free plan with the one-off purchase of the digital color cubes. We want to give as much as we can for free, and for the things that we can't make free because there's infrastructure to pay for and there's software developers and things, we want to give options and make it as affordable as possible. So if you're someone who doesn't like subscriptions, you can get lifetime access or you can just get a free account.
I do think the big thing I've said to a lot of people, and honestly we've had a lot of people that are like, oh, I bought the whole thing, and then they don't want to wait, and so we've just refunded them because like I actually wouldn't have taken any money at the start. I was like, no, it's not ready yet. We should wait. We had so many people emailing us saying, I would rather just buy it now, even if it's not ready. That we're like so many people emailed. And I mean, we've had a few thousand people jump on the pre-orders. So like a lot of people really want it in. But I never want to sort of force people to buy something they're not ready for. So I'm very much like, if you're not sure, wait until it's public and have a play and see if the free version's enough. And then you can decide properly. And then use the free trial and like test it out. Like really make a decision, because the only reason we do subscription is because this is going to have lots of ongoing updates. We're going to be adding a lot of brands. We're going to be fixing bugs along the way. We're going to be adding new features, and we can't maintain that without having the subscription model. But we also we tried to make it a cheap subscription, but we also hate subscriptions ourselves, to be honest. So.
We have also made sure that when you sign up for an account and you choose what kind of account you want, everybody gets that 14-day pro trial, but at the same time, you choose what happens after the trial. So we're not one of those things where you have to
trick anyone into anything.
Put a thing in your calendar to cancel the subscription before you get charged. You can select.
Can I say too, you actually from the start, if you don't want to, like at the start, you decide after the free trial, I don't want to go to a subscription. You don't have to put credit card info in.
Yeah. So. Yeah. It has where you choose what happens after your trial, and if you choose to go on a free account, it doesn't actually ask you for any payment details because we don't need them. So, we don't want to trick people into getting a subscription that they don't want. We would rather people want the subscription and happily pay for it because they're getting something that they would like. So, if you don't want to pay for something, definitely don't buy it.
I was on camera for all of that, and I'm sitting here like impatiently like, okay, Shane, hurry up, finish. Because I want to do a rainbow page. And my ADHD is kind of like a little bit like, okay, I know this is important, but like I'm here with a handful of rainbow. and I maybe did a little bit and went, ooh, I'm excited. So I'm sorry, but I'm going to have to take the camera back from you now. Top camera, give me a top, let's go. Because look at this rainbow wonder. Glittery rainbow wonder. Ah, it's so pretty. And... little fun bonus. So I'm sorry, I don't do glitter pens. So this is like for me, like discovering a new thing for the first time. Oh, you can't even really like see it on that camera all that well. There we go. Look. Woo! Oh, no, you ruined my shot. Okay, hang on. Wait, no, I can't do it from there. Got to go back to the top. The top is where it's at. But the other thing is, it's interacting with a few of the other colors, and the colors are slightly changing when they hit these other colors. So I am very amused by these already. They're actually a really good glitter. Let me give you a blank page so you can see them properly. These are cool. And you can see the color. And that's a good glitter. I don't use glitter pens much to know the standard. These are not gel pens. They're actually paint pens. But that's cool. Just trying to give you a few little swatches here. Oh, that one's got like a slight teal to it. They're actually, these are good. All right, let me give you the glitteriness. Look at that. A wave. I really like that. Let's try them on some white. So that's the purple. Oh, and the glitter kind of like pauses for a moment before it shows up. So it's like it gets better after it dries. Like the glitter kind of comes as a surprise after it. This one's almost like a teal. It's like a mermaidy kind of two color thing going on. Oh, that one I didn't pump enough. I like these. They're very glittery. All right, let me show you that glitter. Maybe, Shane, do you want to try and see if we can get a better side shot? Let's see if we can. I don't know how, because it's all about our lighting here, see? Oh, there we go. You can see a bit of that there. That's a pretty good glitter. They're cool. I like them. Quick review because I've taken up so much time on these paint pens. But no, they're good. They're fun. I will definitely be using them again. And I do want to quickly just have a look at these fine liners on the paper because they weren't going to work on the black. So let's have a look at them on the white. I think I already got a bunch of these out, but that's all right. We'll get more out. So these are dual tip. So on this end we've got, is that like just a, it's a fine liner, but it's like a brush fine liner, which is interesting. And then on the other end we've got more of a bullet tip, but actually still just as fine. It's a little bit strange that like both sides would be a similar size, but it is nice that one's that sort of bullet tip and one's more of a brush tip. Because I mean, fine liners, they are technically both fine liners. So this one allows you to do more of like a brush sort of movement, like a fine calligraphy, which I am not a pro at. And then the other one is more lines. They're kind of cool. They're not as bold as I was expecting, to be completely honest. They remind me a lot of like mild liners, where it's like they're almost like highlighters, but not bright. They're a bit more mild. So I don't know what I would personally use these for. I feel like they would work well for like bullet journaling, but they're not strong colors. They're quite muted. They're quite pastel colors. So not bad, but not something that I personally would use a lot of. So I'm actually probably not the best person to kind of reference them. They do say, oh, this is in Italian.
They'd be good for
Grazie per
lettering.
aver scelto Ohuhu. Thank you for choosing Ohuhu Rainbow Falls. Do they have an English on another one? Yes. Thank you for choosing Ohuhu Rainbow Falls dual tip color fine liner. So they're waterproofing, smooth writing, quick drying, non-toxic, acid free. Oh, it's a calligraphy pen. That makes. So it may have slight slow initial ink flow, but it will normalize with continued use. okay. So they probably actually get better as you keep using them as well. And it says, like, if it's not flowing smoothly, slow down your writing. Yeah, that's one thing I've even noticed with, like, I'm not into calligraphy and I don't use fountain pens, but the 1 or 2 times I have, I use them too fast, which is pretty much what I've done here. I'm probably too impatient for calligraphy. They need to be much slower movement to let the ink flow. I'm like, yeah, I've got the hang of it, go, 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 and then it doesn't work as well. So I think if you use these more like a calligraphy pen and slow down, you get actually a much better result than what I have. So, yeah. They do say again here, if the ink is dry or has leaked, you can contact them for a replacement or refund. I don't know how good that process is, so if anyone knows, let me know. I'm sure that they'll replace things for me really quickly, so I'd be curious for everyone else to know if you find their replacement process to be good or not, or whatever. Because some brands are really good at that, some brands are really bad at that. All right. What else have we got? So I do have the colored pencils. What I will say is, no, I didn't review them in our big colored pencil comparison, actually. I have tried them since, but maybe we'll come back to them in our next video if we have time. We also have a lot of colored markers here, but I have got half an hour more than I was planning to. I'm really happy that we got to really have a look at their acrylic markers and to find ourselves a win with these ones, an unexpected win, but also to find ourselves something to follow up on. So we're going to find out about, so it's good that we got that sort of worked out this week so that by next fortnight, in the next 2 weeks, I will have hopefully some answers. I will say that these, I'll try and use these quickly next week as well. The Moi series journal brush pens. I've used these a lot in the past, and I believe we did review these, Shane, in our ultimate marker comparison. I don't know how old the set that I was or if they've changed, but I have done a review of these in some form at some point that you can have a look at. But on that, I think it's time for us to finish up for today. I hope you found this useful. If you have any specific questions or things you'd like me to explore, please let me know in the comments after we finish up the live. Please also join the Facebook group if you want to jump in and show what you're working on or stuff like that. Or if you've joined the membership here on YouTube, you also have access to our private Discord where we all hang out and share a lot of projects. And for like the Teal members, we even sometimes send supplies along the way for them to try, like a little sample box. So I think Teal will let you know. We'll reach out soon and get some addresses from you all to send some fun little goodies and some experimental pens from the test that we've just done for you to try for yourself. Speaking of members, if you are silver or plus, please come back in an hour. We're going to do a bit of a members only catch up, and it actually won't be more Ohuhu stuff. I actually want to show you through something that I revealed to you last week for an upcoming video, and I want to show you the next steps of how we've gone with that. So kind of can't say much more than that because it is a little bit of a secret. But I hope to see everyone again soon, and thank you so much for joining me. It was wonderful to spend time with you all again, and I hope this was fun and that we didn't upset Ohuhu too much. Thank you, everyone.